Welcome. I hope you have a great day. Now, this message that I have for you all today is something that's very important, fundamental, in fact, for the survival of our people, and fundamental in life in general, for all peoples. Now, the main point I would like to make is that our greatest enemy, or our greatest victimizer, a better way to put it, we shouldn't look at the world in a way of having enemies. Or if we do, we should have a Christian view of this, and we should try to love and forgive our enemies, else we will burden our own hearts and souls. But our greatest victimizers are not the oligarchic, parasitic bankers, the political class and their cohorts of media outlets, nor their police lapdogs who do their bidding. In fact, our greatest victimizer, the greatest detriment to our people and nation, is defeatism within our own ranks. Those who do nothing but spread doubt and a lack of general hope in our victory are the greatest danger to the survival of our people. Their minds have been subverted, and they spread their disease among our strongest and those who are already weak with this sickness. So essentially, the enemy is not outside of ourselves. Our greatest enemy in life is always that voice of doubt within ourselves. That lack of hope when we're overcome with the hardships of life. That lack of clarity, that lack of will and ability to look forward and see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is our greatest defeater. That is what puts us down on our knees and makes us fail in all of our goals and objectives. So, obviously there are victimizers. Again, I mentioned them to begin with. The oligarchic, parasitical class of politicians and their banker cohorts and their media outlets, the judicial system of courts and police officers that are bought out and paid for to serve anti-white ends, alright? And anti-Australian ends. They disrespect our founders, they disrespect our people, our nation, and they disrespect our diggers, the Anzacs, and the sacrifices that our people have made for our nation and for us. They work tirelessly, obviously, to take everything from us that we deserve as a birthright. This entire nation, everything in this nation, all of the resources in our nation belongs to us, white Australians. That is our birthright, and it is being stolen from us. We cannot deny this fact. But the biggest defeater that we face, the biggest threat we face, is not this elitist class of parasites transferring our wealth from our pockets to their own. No, our biggest fault, our biggest threat is our own lack of will to see hope and to take steps forward to better our situation and to stop this corruption and tyranny. That is what is really destroying us as a people. So many people fall into taking drugs and drinking excessive amounts of alcohol and playing excessive amounts of video games, watching too much TV, spending too much time on social media, etc., etc. The list could go on and on and on. That is self-defeatism, and it must stop. Victory is within our grasp. We can easily take back our entire nation, but we must be a strong, united Australian people. We must rekindle that spirit of mateship that once defined our people and our culture. We are not here in this world just for ourselves and our own individualistic, hedonistic pleasures. We are here in this world. We exist in this world for our people, for our nation. Everything we have was created by our ancestors and our parents and those who have come before us. Entire towns were built with the blood, sweat and tears of our white folk. We owe it to them, and we owe it to our descendants who will come after us, to never lose hope and never be self-defeaters. Now, in regards to political expression, those who feel that we are being censored, that we have no say, we have no voice, I tell you this right now. Freedom of association and speech in general is not protected. We don't have a First Amendment like in America, but we are able to have, that means we are able to have laws that restrict some expressions, right? So you can't go out screaming in someone's face in the street, and you can't associate with violent gangs, etc. Like we have the Vlad laws to stop the bikie gangs and everything from associating with each other, which actually makes sense. It's how we have a civil European high culture. Yet freedom of political expression and association is inherent because we have a representative system. Thus, impeding on these forms of expression or association is considered a threat to our national security under the provision of the Australian Constitution enacted on the 1st day of January on the year of 1901. That means that when we express ourselves politically, no matter who it offends, no matter who wants to say it is hate speech, no matter who tries to censor us, we are protected under the Constitution. And anyone who tries to disagree with this, alright, so for example, if somebody tries to charge me with hate speech for my political views, and if the courts convict me of hate speech, then that court and that judge who convicted me will be put on trial under international law, Article 2 of the Genocide Act, alright? Under Section E, complicity for white genocide, complicity in genocide. Our people are facing a genocide. We are being replaced. And anybody who tries to stop us speaking out and having a voice and bringing hope to our people will be tried and put to death in international court. And if they're Australian citizens, they will be tried in Australian courts, and they will face life imprisonment under the Criminal Act of Australia for breaking the law of espionage. It's clearly defined in our law. We have legal protection to have political opinion and say as we like, when we like. As long as it is, again, political expression. Like I explained, we don't have First Amendment. We can't just go out in the street and say anything we want for any reason. But if it is political expression, which any discussion opposing immigration, Islam, Judaism, etc., any foreign entity, or foreign religion. Right? This is political expression, and we are protected. So do not let yourself have doubt. Do not let yourself be a self-defeatist. Because we are taking our country back. This will be a European nation once again. We will reinstate the White Australia policy, the Immigration Act, which restricts immigration only to those of European descent. We will have deportations of those immigrants who are new settlers in our nation under the provision of this traitor class who has let them in and opened the floodgates to our destruction. I guarantee you that once the Australian people wake up, once we start to take action in unity as a people, and once we find solidarity again, which will happen, like the Australian people, sure, we're a laid-back kind of people. Sometimes we're slow to act. But when we act, there is no people on earth, and there never has been a people that have existed on this planet, who act with the might and the valour of the Australian people. Nothing will stop us. Nothing can. Just like our Anzacs were recognised as the greatest and the bravest soldiers out of any soldiers in the entire wars of the world wars. There's famous quotes from generals in England and all different nations who partook in the world wars, and all of them agree that the Anzacs, the Australians and the New Zealanders were the greatest warriors, the greatest soldiers this world has ever seen. And yeah, sure, we like to sit around and have a few beers, and we're a bit lazy. We were slow to take action, but I'm telling you, I guarantee, when we stand up, when we take action, we will move mountains, and the world will remember our feats. We will be written down in history, and our great men will have statues erected of them that will last for thousands of years. Do not doubt me. Great change is coming. Have hope. Stand with us. Because we have no other choice. Thank you.